Welcome to another episode of Chris McBride Reacts. I got the homie Miami Steve in the building.
What's
How you
happening?
doing today, bro?
Good, man. Amazing, peaceful, abundant, lively.
Hey, those are all great things. Before we get started, go ahead and smash that like button, hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime we drop another banger. Also hit that subscribe button, and anytime throughout the video, drop a comment. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know your thoughts as well. We got an interesting video today.
Yeah, we do. What's this one about? Because the last one we did with the Kevin Samuels was crazy.
So that one was, but this one is by a lady, and it's an interesting topic. I actually came across one of her videos. I'm gonna drop her name and the link to the video in the comments or in the description of the video, so y'all can check it out as well.
All right, bet.
But the title of it is called "Black Women Are Miserable." This is coming from, you know what I'm saying, a woman. So we're gonna rock out and see what
This could be.
see what she talking. Let's see.
Unfortunately, there are too many modern women who won't admit that we were lied to. Too many modern women won't admit that, yo, we made a mistake. Let's switch it. Let's stop and switch it. A lot of them prefer to stay on this never trust a man. Keep your guards up.
It's not
All
really
men are
productive.
toxic. Hey YouTube, it's Chantelle, and my channel is for women who want to be better at dating and relationships by understanding our men's perspective.
So Chantelle Simone, and I'm glad she did that. And her stuff is lit.
It's nice, yeah.
So that's the content creator that did the video.
Okay.
But I haven't seen it, so you know.
Oh, okay,
I don't know whether I'm about to
excited
be
now, 'cause
affirmative or against it.
Yeah, she started off really well.
She did.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have no idea if we go end it feeling just as good.
Yeah.
We go hope. Let's see.
And seeing things from their point of view so we can start to get along with our black men and see more two-parent households in the black community. I'm going to talk about a post that I saw on Instagram because this post really struck something with me. I can relate so much with this post because I was one of those women who was told to go to school, get your education, don't focus on a man. Men come after, men come second to your education and your career. And then now I find myself at my age, unmarried, and wishing that I had done things differently. So I'm going to pull up the post and we're going to read it together. So the first slide says, it's a thread. So the first slide said, so many women won't admit that they are miserable in their independence. I wish we could just be honest and say what it really is. A lot of women are exhausted, but they keep pursuing this lifestyle that society pushes on us, not feeling like they have another choice. But you.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
So many women won't admit that they are miserable in their independence.
Yeah.
I wish we could just be honest and say that what it really is. A lot of women are exhausted. Facts. Facts. And I don't know why a lot of older women aren't really being honest about that message.
Yeah. I mean,
I appreciate
Chantelle, appreciate you. Yeah, that's real.
Let's see what she got to say about it. Damn, that was crazy though. That's sheesh.
And I mean, it's exhausting to be this strong, independent, I don't need no man for anything. It is exhausting to be both the man and the woman in a relationship. And more women need to speak up. More women need to teach our young girls who are following this narrative, who's following this whole feminist movement, be a boss, own businesses, get your degree. A lot more women need to speak up and say, yeah, it's one thing to chase the bag. I'm not saying be a bum and don't be educated and don't have ambition. I'm not saying that. However, in that pursuit of the bag.
Facts, because a lot of people always want to pull extremes when it goes to this. So when you would say something like, oh, well, you don't got to chase, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to put your career primary. Then they'd be like, well, that means I'll be a bum and all that. And it's just like, it doesn't have to be that extreme.
Yeah, no. When you in the relationship, you come home, you're dealing with your man, like, you know, that has to fall to the wayside, and you are there, you know what I mean, for him. You know, you are there to bring that feminine energy to the space. But that independence, I don't need a man. Like, you can be in your masculine energy a little bit, I guess, when you're doing your work, if you're passionate and fired up about what you're doing. But when you come home, you step through that door, you you gotta switch it up.
But that's what led to my post where I said conditional femininity is
Yeah.
cap. I don't believe that a woman
Can do both sides.
yeah, I feel like
That's
there's
interesting.
not a switch that that's not, no, it's like either you got it, either you're feminine or
Let me ask
you're
you
not.
this. This is interesting then, because like the first thing that came to my mind is like, what about athletes? Women who are actually feminine women, but they can call upon that masculine energy with competitiveness and what I mean, like a Serena Williams or something like that. Like I think Serena is Serena,
Serena has to be with a certain type of guy and all that stuff. Like, sir, I
just from the mindset though. When she's in her space, she's successful at what she does. She gets aggressive. She gets serious.
you would say she's feminine.
Well, I don't know her, but from what I've seen, I think she's masculine. She channels that masculine energy and fierceness on the tennis court, but from the outside, like outside of the tennis court, she seems like a pretty chill.
I don't think, you know what I'm saying, wearing a dress and makeup and all that stuff like that makes a
Yeah,
woman feminine. And that's
yeah,
for
yeah.
all
No,
she really does. You know what I'm saying? But
but
femininity, I don't get that. Femininity is that it's the way a woman makes a man feel.
yeah.
And
But we're talking
that's
about
not sexually.
right. But okay. Well, then I guess maybe is the question: can she tap into that when she's dealing with her man?
I mean, people can act any type of way.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about natural state,
Oh, naturals.
that's not. It's not. No, there's. Yes, you can act it for a while, but that's why they have the outbursts where masculinity comes out,
Oh,
where
it
it
comes
leaks,
out.
because you just try to hide who you really are. Either you're feminine
Fully,
or you're not.
fully
Because a
feminine.
feminine woman wouldn't do the masculine things under any circumstance. It's not. They're not going to look for a reason to justify that behavior. They just
Yeah.
that's why I say always refer back to like a great grandma or something like that, or super wave. You just under any circumstance nowadays,
That's
everybody can find
interesting.
a reason on why something can be justified. But
Yeah.
back then, is just a feminine. What you're just feminine, or you're not. You just either don't got that. I don't like a woman is not gonna try to. A feminine woman would never try to deal with a man like she's a man.
Yeah, for
Never.
sure. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But I guess the thing that I'm
And that's not physically. I'm talking about even
yeah,
what comes out
just
of her mouth.
yeah, but that's dealing. Well, let me ask you this: her man or any man?
Any man. You can't turn femininity or an aggressive woman verbally and all. That's not femininity.
But what if a woman has to tap into being aggressive with shutting another man down from a defensive standpoint? You know, if he's crossing a line or
The
a
man
barrier.
around her should be doing that.
Okay, but what if she's on her own? What if she's out in the world doing her? There's so
That's-
many like woulda, coulda
That's what I'm
situations.
saying. Like with this
But
generation, you can find a reason to justify anything. But
I don't know.
It's either just you're feminine.
You're
and
walking in that
regardless of
feminine,
this, yes, and
regardless of the situation
circumstances, you're feminine. It's
across
just
the board. I don't know. I had to.
because again,
I,
a masculinity is just doing what the manly roles are.
in pertaining to relationships, for sure, I think so. But I was talking about just in life and in general. Like, so in relationships, 1,000%. You know, a man and woman come together. She has to walk in that feminine energy.
That's what we're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I think that what I was getting at, maybe I didn't communicate it properly, that because each person has both in them, whichever they choose to tap into more is what their natural state is. Like for me, I'm a masculine man, but the feminine energy inside of me comes out through art. Art is considered a can be on the feminine aspect of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when it comes out and it's an expression, when I shoot photos in the camera, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that, I think like building and doing things like this, having these type of conversations and all that, but like the artistic side of life is a more feministic aspect of the energy spectrum. You know what I'm saying? So, and we have all these things that are that come out and express themselves in different ways. So, someone who is a painter, you know what I'm saying, a drawer, an artist, a photographer, an actor, you know what I'm saying? An actor can be naturally masculine, but for the sake of the performance, he has to tap into that feminine energy for the sake of that.
And what I'm saying is to make himself feel better, he can say he's masculine or he can believe he's masculine, but
The fact that he goes and taps into it means
He's
that,
not.
Okay.
Because a masculine is just a masculine. It ain't this modern day blending trans thing that we try to make everything out to be, where it's like, oh, we'll just float between both. It's just, no, you're either one side. That's what the purpose of a man and a woman is to balance each other out.
Yeah, for sure.
So it ain't just I got both. So that again leads to the independence. That's what it leads to, the independence. Oh, I got both, and we could, no, it's really, no, we seek balance.
Yeah, I think that's the balance comes within the relationship between two people, but from an artistic standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me ask you this.
But we're talking about
within relationships. Yeah, I agree. I thought
femininity within relationships. Yeah, within dealing with a man, dealing with a woman specifically. Yeah, and within that particular context.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
it's not really all of
what I was saying about how the art and stuff expresses itself. That is outside of relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's within, I guess, within an individual, but within dating and relationships, for sure, it's the feminine energy balances out the masculine, and the same on the other side.
No, facts. But just for the viewer standpoint, I'm just trying to stay on topic with what.
Oh yeah, my bad. I done went off on a tangent.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But for relationships and dealing with, you know what I'm saying, interactions between men and women in a heterosexual, because nowadays you got to be super specific.
Yeah, either you are or you not. Oh, for sure.
Well, I mean, just because on the conditional femininity part that I put in, like one of the comments was, you know what I'm saying, a homosexual person, a dude that was like, yeah, I'm in an open relationship with a guy. And I'm like, fam, I shouldn't even have to say that, but this, you know what I'm saying? The context of how I am speaking and what I am thinking about is this specifically in regards to a man and a woman relating to each other in a heterosexual.
Yeah, 1,000% agree. Yeah.
Well, let's rock out and see what she's saying.
Prioritize marriage and relationships and families. You can do them at both. You can go to school and prioritize learning how to work with a man at the same time.
Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier.
That whole idea of put boys on the back burner and focus on your education.
Kevin Samuels conversation, one that we did. Like outside of the relationship, and that's what I mean, going to school, you know what I'm saying, working and all that, do all that. But when you come home and into the household and the relationship, for sure, agreed 1,000% what you were saying, what she was saying.
Own businesses, get your degree. A lot more women need to speak up and say, yeah, it's one thing to chase the bag. I'm not saying be a bum and don't be educated and don't have ambition. I'm not saying that. However, in that pursuit of the bag, prioritize marriage and relationships and families. You can do them at both. You can go to school and prioritize learning how to work with a man at the same time. Okay? That whole idea of put boys on a back burner and focus on your education, that's false. And that's why so many of us find ourselves post 30 and single, myself included. All right, so the next slide says, one of the biggest lies I was ever told as a young girl is that you have to be independent, otherwise your man will up and leave you high and dry with nothing. That's now, as an adult looking at the life of the woman who said that to me, independence has done her no favors. Interesting. And I talk a lot about the color purple syndrome. I talk a lot about Diary of a Mad Black Woman and all those movies who push this narrative to young girls. If you don't get your own, if you don't secure your bag, your man is going to eventually leave you for a younger, hotter virgin. And then we go in relationship with this fear. Say, hey, I have to have my own. I have to secure my bag. Get my own private money, my own private bank account that my man don't know about. I was told that growing up. Never make always have your savings because a man can leave you like that. Who push this narrative to young girls? If you don't get your own, if you don't secure your bag, your man is going to eventually leave you for a younger, hotter virgin. And then we go in relationship with this fear. Say, hey, I have to have my own. I have to secure my bag. Get my own private money, my own private bank account that my man don't know about. I was told that growing up. Never make a man know how much you make. Always have your savings, because a man can leave you like that. That fear that we put in our young girls
That's
to be
interesting, man.
afraid
The
of our
last-
partners,
my bad.
afraid
Oh,
of.
you're good, bro. But that ties into why they leave
Yeah.
80 to 90% of the time is
Yeah.
because of the fear that older women and all the movies and the media and everything just
Puts on.
into
Yeah.
people. So even before they meet us, they're apprehensive.
Yeah.
And the same for us. We are taught, man, you can't trust them. You can't,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking some stuff about women that no longer serves me. Where I'm like, man, that's messed up. I thought that.
and I ain't even gonna say so much I was taught, but just the things that I observed.
Yeah, that's
I
a better.
modeled,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
That's
what
a
I'm
better.
saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because
I mean, technically, we were taught because whatever thing that was the model was teaching us. But yeah,
that's true. That's
Mhm.
on a higher level of accountability. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
being ownership of me
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything, I keep it on the first level. But on the highest level,
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to present my
Yes.
best self, Chris.
Oh no, you're right. You're right though.
But
You know what
I'm right
saying?
there with you. Yeah, that's
But I
what
don't
it
know if
was.
the people around us is ready to be that accountable. You know what
Boy,
I'm saying?
yeah,
So
because that
that's-
was I agree 1,000%.
Our
Man,
counterparts, the men who we're supposed to be building community with, building families with. We were told, be careful, be aware, have your own, secure your own, be independent. Because when the enemy, men,
the enemy.
especially black men, when he decides to leave you, he's just going to get up and leave you with nothing. So make sure you have your stat. That is such a toxic
Yeah,
advice
you're-
to give.
you're-
And so
man.
many
That's the
black
drug dealer's mindset. Well, look, I gotta have my stash buried in the backyard just in case when the fans come.
When
I
they
gotta drop
come, I
everything
got
and
something.
go.
Yeah, I already got. It's already ready to go. Ready.
Damn, that's crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't- bro. Me and my girl got a book called "The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman." Oh, I thought it was it. It got to be out there, but in it,
What just happened? Based off of that look, should I be concerned?
no, I was looking at the titles of that book to see if it was right there because I was gonna grab it and reference it. but
okay. I
it's
thought
out
you
there with
saw
my other
like it was
books.
like a spider. I was like, Chris, what is it?
No, that's funny as hell. But in that book, it just highlights so many things that black women are taught that black boys aren't taught and that are hidden from the men and the fathers. So
Yeah.
it's like a whole code, bro, that you would not know, bro. It's called The Black Man's Guide to Understand. It's crazy. My
Yeah,
girl was
let me-
putting me on game. She was like, as we was reading it together, she was like, damn, I ain't gonna lie to you. This is true, bro. It's
Let me get
some
that.
shit you gotta digest, bro. You don't want to read a page a day.
Man.
You'll be like overwhelmed. But nah, facts what she's saying. That's by the Shara Haza Ali.
Oh,
lady.
yeah. Shout out to Miss Ali. I seen a thing where she went on one. I don't know what TV show it was, but
It's gonna
she
eventually-
went and did an interview where she was talking about her book, and it was interesting because there was only maybe a handful of black people that really were like, no, what you're saying is real, but everybody else in there was really attacking her, talking about everything that she was saying is out of context and out of context, and she had no right and all that. But I'm like, y'all, like the fact that you're getting defensive is, a very good indicator that something's wrong.
Facts. And it's one of the lowest levels. It's called the Graham's hierarchy of disagreement. And it talks about the different ways in which you can respond to a situation. On the lowest level, it's like name calling. So immediately when a person don't know what to say and they wrong and they don't know how to refute you the facts, they'll just, oh, well, you this or you this. Or they'll go into the ad hominems, and that's, well, are you qualified? Who are you? What's your trying to attack that. And the higher up you go, the more wise and better communication you have. To the top is where you only talk about things that are focused on the center point of the conversation, the facts, the data, statistics, things that can be proven. Nothing emotional, not attacking anything, no side comments, no sarcasm, no ad hominem, like none of that, innuendo.
That's really
none
interesting.
of that.
What was the name of that book again?
The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman.
Yeah, you go. Oh, that's her book.
Shara Haza Ali.
That was her book. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
I think that's already in the
Don't
queue.
get it on Amazon. Get it off of eBay. Because other people push it on Amazon and the price is crazy, ridiculous. She actually pushes it on eBay and the price is it's like a dramatic difference.
leave you for a younger,
And I only found
hotter
that out because
version.
she said it in an interview.
And then we go in relationship with this fear. Say, hey, I have to have my own. I have to secure my bag. Get my own private money, my own private bank account that my man don't know about. I was told that growing up.
That's crazy.
Never make a man know how much you make. Always have your savings, because a man can leave you like that. That fear that we put in our young girls to be afraid of our partners, afraid of our counterparts, the men who we're supposed to be building community with, building families with.
Right.
We were told, be careful, be aware, have your own, secure your own, be independent. Because when the enemy, men, especially black men, when he decides to leave you, he's just going to get up and leave you with nothing. So make sure you have your stat. That is such a toxic advice to give. And so many black women receive that advice. And then now we look at men as the enemy. We have our guards up when we enter these relationships. And can't enter these relationships in good faith, because this was drilled in our head. Get your education, get your bag, get your job, be independent so you can stand up.
Sorry, it's like the action that you're taking is rooted in fear. So anything that you do from that mindset or set point is always going to result in a failure. Doesn't matter what you do. Like the fact that you're starting from a basis of fear, you're already starting from a bad spot.
Facts. And even if you have temporary success, the fear remains, the sabotage will kick in. That's why one of my mentors would always say most people can only visit their destiny because their character isn't strong enough to sustain them there. So we'll get it for a little second, but that fear and what's really within that subconscious will start destructing. That's why I love what Warren Buffett said, where he said every day you shouldn't just try to get wiser, but you should also try to get a little bit less dumber. And so not only should you try to learn more things, but every day you should also be trying to unlearn things that hinder you.
Yeah, for sure. 1,000%.
Disabling ignorance is what he refers to it as.
Disabling ignorance.
Your own, when we all know interdependence is what we need to have families, to pass on generations. This is such a toxic thing to teach our young girls. The next slide says,
real quick,
they teach us trust no man.
There's things, sometimes there's phrases and words that people say. This has helped me a lot. But that interdependence, I don't know the exact definition, but looking up your words. When you're trying to grow and expand and reading books and watching stuff like this, and you're getting some gems, but if somebody says something that goes over your head, write it down and look it up so you get that clarification. Because you won't be able to fully grasp the whole idea of what's being said.
No, facts. And what this lady's saying is, I mean, bro, that's one of the main points that I was saying, and I was responding to all them comments on that post where I said conditional femininity, because all their response was, again, a Tyler Perry, color purple, well, this dude is a bum. Well, I'm like, well, why do y'all keep getting with a man that y'all feel that can't lead y'all?
Yeah, exactly.
That you can't respect. Why do you feel?
Yeah.
Nobody would ever respond, but this is exactly what this lady is saying.
And showing us how to marry the right man who will never put us in that type of situation.
Right.
Please don't project your insecurities and unhealthy perception of men onto your daughters and other young girls simply because of the men you choose. I say this time and time again. Unfortunately, my mom and the woman who raised me passed on, so I'm unable to have these conversations with them. But a lot of times I wish they had taught me how to vet, how to choose a man, what qualities to look for in a man, instead of teaching me, have your guards up, never trust a man, don't trust any man. It would have
send you up for failure.
But also teaching them, if a man isn't, if you feel really that way about a man, that he's that way and all that other stuff, because that's why I asked the question also on the post. I was like, does the man only become not shit after y'all fuck? Is it only once you don't deal with this man anymore? Is he not shit? Because if it ain't that case, that he's only not shit only after you stop messing with him, then he was not shit before. And if he was not shit before, why do you choose to associate with that or deal with that like it ain't all the other ones? But it's taught that, oh, we'll just go with who. And me and my girl joke at the phrase, whoever make your coochie tingle. That's what it's conditioned to. Well, ooh, that I'm more sexually attracted to this one, so let me go with this one. Then I try to put responsibility on this person, which is a character thing. And then you want to say how this person ain't nothing, when in actuality the order should be, let me see if this person has the character that I need.
Yeah.
And then from there, the sexual attraction can kick in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I was gonna say one other thing is where maybe this is leading me astray. I don't know, but for me lately is I definitely will. Well, no, I think it falls right in line because I'll be physically attracted to a woman first, and that's what will draw me in. But when she opens her mouth and starts talking, you know what I mean. What comes out of her mouth is the most important. The looks will go away if she says some ignorant, dumb shit, or talks about some stuff that's kind of not in line with what we're saying here. It's just like it just looks immediately because, like you said, the character, who this person is at their core. I'm like, I don't care how fine you are. If your mindset is not right, it don't work.
So a lot of times our little head be having us looking at the physical.
Yeah.
That's what gets the attention. And that's why it's like, but if that is in control, then a lot of times that is not even getting the attention. The way I look at it is,
that's how it was before.
When I go to get candy from a candy store, are you going based upon the appearance of the rapper, or are you going based upon the substance of what's in the rapper?
Oh, the substance.
Same thing, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
with like people. So everything can have shiny wrappers or bad good
everything that
packaging
glitters,
and all that.
yeah.
And ain't really what you looking for. Don't really have the. So for me, you know what I'm saying, it ain't really about, because anything can look a certain type of way.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? But we know, just as niggas, just because we see a person that look a certain type of way,
Yeah, her
we
mindset.
don't know if they, not even just a mindset. I don't know if you look like that all the time. I don't know what's really yours. I don't know if you just got a certain circumstance that got you looking like this at this particular moment. I don't know the baggage that come along with. I don't know everybody. We just don't know. So it's just like at a certain point in time, you don't even really just look. That's why they say he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And it's like findeth. Like if you really look at the root word, it means like to stumble upon while you're on your path. And that's why like even God was saying like he created man to fulfill his purpose, which is to have dominion. Then he said it's not good for him to work alone, so he created the woman. So it's like the man has to be fulfilling his purpose. And while he's on his path of fulfilling his purpose, he would find his woman, not necessarily going out just looking for her.
Oh, 1,000%.
I would have benefited so much if I had learned how to choose a man rather than.
And also, just I want to give her props from just the accountability, because she's being raw, and like all the criticism that she's giving, she's identifying with a lot of it and saying that she did it herself, just accountable too, and not only holding herself accountable, but publicly just putting that out there. That's kind of, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's kind of. I feel like I'm doing the same thing. We're having these conversations. Like you got it's difficult, but you do have to put yourself in an uncomfortable space, and when the spotlight gets shined on certain things that you can grow upon, like, you know what I mean, taking accountability on it, like I could get better on that, because I've learned a lot since I've been here, and it's boy.
Not trust any man. And I'm using my space to pass this, to put a stop to this narrative, to open our eyes as Black women and see how we were set up. And I don't think it was intentionally done. I don't think my mom was like, oh, let me set her up to not have a man and tell her not trust no man. I think my mom didn't choose properly. She didn't vet properly, and then she kept on attracting undesirable men to her. So then to save me, she said, hey girl, don't trust no man, instead of saying vet properly.
Yes.
All right. So I don't think all of this was intentionally done, not on our parents' part at least. Maybe if you go generations back, it probably was, because there's a letter that I don't want to mention that talks about this and talks about how it divides the Black community. But this mindset is what keeps so many of us single, unmarried. And then somebody else commented and said, having a man that provides solution to my problems is top tier masculine energy that I require. I don't have to worry and go into survival mode, which creates space for me to thrive in my femininity.
Totally.
That was a great way to describe
and that is so much
great way, perfectly.
Being with a man who you can rely on, Being with a man who you can depend on is so much better than having to be both the man and the woman in a relationship. So it's we need to tell our young girls how to vet properly rather than teaching them to not trust any man. Because when you tell them don't trust any man, then you're telling them to be the man and the woman in a relationship. If you tell them to vet better, you're teaching them how to look for the qualities of a masculine man that will allow her to sit in her femininity, to thrive in her femininity. She should already be feminine, and you guys, that's not the point of this video. But being with a masculine, a yin to your yang, a complementary. But these young girls, and it's like sometimes my heart go out to modern women because this is how we were raised, this is what we were told, and we were set up and we were lied to. But unfortunately, there are too many modern women who won't admit that we were lied to. Too many modern women won't admit that, yo, we made a mistake. Let's switch it. Let's stop and switch it. A lot of them prefer to stay on this never trust a man. Keep your guards up, all men are toxic. Because I looked in the comments of this post and there's so many women talking about, oh, men won't step up and men won't do this, so we're forced in our masculinity, we're forced to be independent, which that's a whole other thing. Those people,
that's just upbringing, that training.
Facts. And I'm glad she called out that as cat, because that's what I was saying, like with the post. That's what all of the it's just there's no man out there, none.
No,
I'm like, that's the power of media, though, because it's like many of us, we pull subconsciously from fantasy when we get emotional about these topics and these subjects.
Speaking generalities.
But that's why I don't understand why we take these TV shows like The Maid, which is like something that got something to do with domestic violence. Because for a whole 2 weeks straight, all I seen on my timeline was girls talking about, oh, I'm getting so triggered watching this. And I'm like, why are y'all watching? First off, if you got experience with domestic violence and then you watch something that triggers those emotions, which lets you know you haven't healed from it, so it still affects you, but you re-trigger those. I don't understand, which is just reinforcing a real experience that you may have had with a whole bunch of fantasy. But the mind can't tell the difference. The subconscious mind is called excitation transfer. The brain can't tell the difference between something that you vividly imagine and an actual experience.
And what's actually real, Woo. I'm glad you brought that up. It cannot tell the difference.
That's why it's like we got to do something about protecting our image, because a lot of times, man, what's projected is, again, a man that's a tyrant or a man that's a pushover. It's rarely just a man of good values. It's either you ain't nothing with your kids, or you beat your women, or you just can't control, you know what I'm saying, your penis. You can't, you know what I'm saying, you abusive. It gotta be something. You do something, you're criminal in some type of way, or you compromise your integrity. You do something. It's rarely that we see just black with families and just family values, and the man respecting the woman and the woman respecting the man. And
you know what's interesting? This just came to me is like, I feel like I'm a guy that has all those traits and qualities, but I'm also continuing to develop them. When I have been dating and talking to younger women, modern women, it is a thing of when I explain like, oh, I don't have any kids, or I'm focused on this, I have all these things that are like, oh, these are all pretty good indicators. What's wrong with you? I get okay, you don't have any kids, you're single, you're good looking, you got a good head on your shoulders, you're aware.
Basically, I'm a man of discipline, and that's looked at as something's wrong with me.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being like, oh, this guy is
discipline.
Yeah. And I can always improve on the discipline, but it's like, I don't have all the things that are, the ain't shit type dudes that come with all the bullshit. That's like, no, I don't do none of that. I'm not on none of that. Well, what's wrong with you then? Why does something have to be wrong with me?
It's always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
The victim Olympics. Shout out to Anton Daniels.
Yeah,
all right.
Facts.
But anyways, this was a long video, longer than I usually go. But this topic right here, it's so true, it's so real, and it connects with me so much. And I'm hoping to use my space as an opportunity for other women who can relate, who saw that, yo, I was set up, and who aren't afraid to admit that, hey, I was set up, to give them an opportunity to voice and feel comfortable over here, and also to pass on to young girls. Because if I was 10 years ago at 20, if I knew the information that I knew now, I would have been married a long time ago. A long time ago. So I'm teaching these young girls, showing these young girls my mistake, openly talking about my mistake, in hopes that they don't make the same. Again, it's your girl Chantelle. Thank you so much for your support. If you like this video, please like this video to help content like this to be pushed out. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can help me grow my channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.
Hey, definitely go check her out, man. Go subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell on hers. Definitely do that with us too as well,
for
man.
sure.
Like, comment, hit that notification bell, hit the subscribe button as well. That was a real dope video, man, with a lot of interesting revelations that happened throughout, a lot of interesting talking points. Definitely shout out to her for the accountability and just for really putting that video together and pulling all those different posts that people were saying, because man, especially that one that stood out was saying just being taught to vet properly. Like that's the key. I can't wait for baby Ayla to get here, which is my future daughter. I'm prophesizing she's coming. But that's one of the main things.
Congrats on that.
Like, hey, appreciate that. But I appreciate y'all checking out another episode of Chris McBride Reacts. Let them know how they can find you.
Again, man, the Miami Steve on all social platforms, mainly on Twitter and Instagram. Excuse me, got something in my nose. But yeah, man, follow me, hit me up. You know what I mean? Like, comment, post. I'll be sharing some of the stuff on my page. And let's continue the conversation. Let's keep this thing open and momentum going, because these are all important things that we all need to talk about. You know what I mean? It's all growth, it's prosperity, mentally, spiritually, all of that.
Hey, facts. Well, I appreciate you coming, man.
Always.
Definitely like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, man. And until next time, y'all keep blessing and progressing. We out.
We out here.
Peace.